Lieutenant Jae-woo Park stood at the edge of the alien research station, his eyes scanning the turbulent crimson atmosphere of Kepler 452b. The planet's surface churned with toxic gases and razor-sharp crystalline formations that could slice through standard protective gear in seconds. Wind howled across the desolate landscape, carrying particles of metallic dust that glinted like deadly snowflakes. The research station was collapsing. Metal beams twisted and groaned under impossible gravitational stress, warning sirens blaring a desperate countdown to total destruction. Jae-woo's communication device crackled with fragmented messages from his team. Most had already evacuated, but one signal remained trapped inside the rapidly disintegrating structure. Hygiene Kim was buried somewhere within the complex. A xenobiologist whose groundbreaking research on planetary adaptation had brought them to this remote corner of the galaxy. Her last transmission had been a weak whisper of coordinates and a muffled sound of structural failure. Jae-woo knew the risks. Every second he waited meant certain death for his colleague. The planetary readings were catastrophic, seismic activity was increasing, and the entire research station would collapse within minutes. Radiation levels were spiking, creating dangerous interference with his protective suit systems. He took a deep breath and activated his emergency oxygen reserves. The suit's enhanced mobility systems hummed to life, giving him precious extra moments of protection against the planet's hostile environment. One calculated risk. That's all he needed. The entrance to the research station was barely recognizable. Massive chunks of metallic alloy had warped and torn, creating a labyrinth of dangerous passageways. Jae-woo's thermal scanner picked up a faint heat signature deep within the structure's central research wing. Each step was a battle against the station's collapsing framework. Ceiling panels crashed around him, mechanical systems exploded in bursts of electrical fury. Specialized sensors in his suit warned of imminent structural failure, but he pushed forward. The coordinates matched Hygiene's last known location. He found her trapped beneath a massive research module. Her environmental suit was damaged, oxygen levels critically low. Dust and debris covered her unconscious form. A large metal beam pinned her legs, making movement impossible. The entire section was moments away from complete collapse. No time for careful extraction. No time for standard rescue protocols. Jae-woo grabbed her wrist and pulled with every ounce of strength his enhanced suit could generate. The metal beam screeched against the floor, sparks flying as he leveraged his body weight. One powerful motion freed Hygiene from certain death. As he lifted her over his shoulder, the research station began its final descent into catastrophic destruction. Massive sections imploded, creating shockwaves that threatened to crush them both. His suit's emergency thrusters activated automatically, propelling them through a collapsing corridor. They burst through the station's outer wall just seconds before the entire structure collapsed into a molten heap of twisted metal and shattered research equipment. Toxic clouds of planetary dust erupted around them, creating a hellish landscape of destruction. Jae-woo's emergency beacon signaled the orbiting rescue shuttle. Medical systems in his suit immediately began assessing Hygiene's vital signs. Multiple fractures. Oxygen deprivation. Potential internal injuries. But she was alive. What Jae-woo didn't know, what neither of them could possibly understand in that moment of desperate survival, was that his simple act of grabbing her wrist would change everything. On her home planet, such a touch meant something far more significant than a simple rescue. They had just become married under laws older than their entire civilization. The rescue shuttle descended through the toxic atmosphere, its lights cutting through the swirling crimson storms. Another successful mission. Another life saved. Another unexpected journey about to begin. The sterile conference room felt colder than the alien planet they had just escaped. Jae-woo sat motionless, his hands folded carefully on the smooth white table. Commander Park looked tired, the lines on his face telling stories of countless diplomatic challenges. "Do you understand what happened?" Commander Park asked, sliding a holographic document across the table. The projection flickered, showing complex diagrams and alien script. Hygiene sat rigidly beside Jae-woo, her eyes fixed on a point somewhere beyond the walls. Her medical uniform was crisp and white, a stark contrast to the memories of their recent planetary escape. The diplomatic translator activated, its soft electronic voice explaining the intricate cultural details. On Hygiene's home planet of Arconia, physical contact between unrelated individuals carried profound legal and social consequences. A direct skin-to-skin touch, even accidentally, triggered an immediate and irrevocable marriage contract. Jaewoo's rescue had done more than save her life. It had legally bound them together. "This is impossible," Jaewoo muttered, his professional composure cracking. "We can't be married. I don't even know her." The translator continued, revealing the complex social structure of Arconian society. Their laws were ancient, designed to protect genetic diversity and ensure social stability. A touch was not just a physical interaction but a sacred covenant. Hygiene remained silent. Her cultural training meant she understood the implications instantly. Breaking this contract would mean complete social exile, losing her scientific credentials, her research funding, her entire professional identity. Commander Park pushed a series of documents toward them. Legal agreements. Cultural compatibility assessments. Diplomatic protocols that would need immediate implementation. "The Galactic Council has been notified," he explained. "Your unexpected marriage has created a unique diplomatic situation. Both your governments are now required to recognize this union." Jaewoo's military training struggled against the absurdity of the situation. He was a lieutenant, not a husband. His life was structured around missions, protocols, and clear expectations. This unexpected legal entanglement threatened everything he understood about his world. Hygiene finally spoke, her voice calm and measured. "We will need to undergo comprehensive cultural integration training." The room fell silent. The holographic documents continued to rotate slowly, showing complex legal connections between their two separate lives now forcibly intertwined. Medical reports confirmed they were physically healthy. Psychological evaluations would follow. Their unexpected connection would be studied, documented, potentially becoming a significant case study in cross-species interactions. "You'll be assigned shared living quarters," Commander Park continued. "Your professional assignments will be adjusted to accommodate this new status." Jaewoo wanted to protest. Hygiene wanted to analyze. But the legal machinery of their respective governments had already begun moving, transforming a simple rescue into a complex diplomatic event. Outside the conference room, the world continued. Spacecraft moved between distant stars. Research continued. But here, in this small room, two strangers had become something more, whether they wanted it or not. The holographic document blinked, finalizing their unexpected union. Marriage certificate. Diplomatic agreement. Cultural bridge. One accidental touch had changed everything. Their shared apartment felt like a battlefield of silence. Two separate workstations. Two carefully divided living spaces. Invisible lines drawn across furniture, marking territories of unspoken tension. Jaewoo's military precision collided with Hygiene's scientific methodology. He organized kitchen utensils with geometric accuracy. She arranged research specimens with meticulous care. Neither spoke more than absolutely necessary. The first week passed in complete communication silence. Hygiene would wake before dawn, preparing complex biological research reports. Jaewoo would return from military training, carefully avoiding eye contact. Their mandatory cohabitation felt like a punishment designed by bureaucratic torture. Cultural integration classes became their only structured interaction. Awkward sessions where they learned about each other's worlds. Hygiene discovered human emotional complexity. Jaewoo learned Arconian social structures were more nuanced than military hierarchies. One evening, something unexpected happened. Jaewoo accidentally knocked over Hygiene's rare planetary sample collection. Instead of anger, she watched his immediate attempt to carefully reorganize the delicate specimens. "You're careful," she observed, the first personal comment since their forced marriage. Jaewoo looked surprised. "Military training," he responded simply. Slowly, microscopic cracks appeared in their emotional walls. Shared meals became less structured. Conversations grew from single sentences to short paragraphs. They discovered mutual respect beneath their initial resistance. Their apartment, once a cold battlefield, started transforming. Haijian's scientific books mixed with Jaewoo's military manuals. Her delicate plant specimens shared space with his precise military equipment. The Galactic Diplomatic Corps monitored their integration closely. Every interaction was documented, analyzed, turned into potential cross-species communication research. What began as a legal accident was becoming something more complex. Haijian's research on planetary adaptation took an unexpected turn. She started incorporating Jaewoo's tactical observations, creating hybrid scientific models that intrigued her colleagues. His strategic thinking complemented her detailed research approach. Jaewoo discovered something unexpected about himself. His rigid military perspective started adapting, becoming more flexible. Haijian's scientific methodology taught him that solutions weren't always about direct confrontation. Their shared living space became a microcosm of potential interspecies cooperation. Where official diplomacy struggled, two individuals were accidentally creating understanding. Cultural differences remained. Jaewoo still maintained military discipline. Haijian kept her scientific objectivity. But something was changing. Respect was growing where forced proximity had once created only tension. Late one night, working on separate research projects, Jaewoo realized something remarkable. They had stopped drawing invisible lines. Their workstations had merged. Their research was becoming collaborative without conscious effort. Haijian looked up, catching his contemplative expression. "Problem?" she asked. "No," Jaewoo responded, a rare small smile appearing. "Just an observation." The apartment, once a symbol of their forced connection, was becoming something unexpected. A home. A shared space. A bridge between two different worlds. Their unexpected marriage was transforming from a legal technicality into something more nuanced. Not love. Not yet. But understanding was definitely growing. The Galactic Diplomatic Corps would be very interested in their progress. The first warning came through a coded transmission, barely distinguishable from routine communications. A massive alien fleet was moving through the outer galactic sectors, destroying research stations and colonized planets with ruthless efficiency. The Kravok Collective, a species known for their systematic planetary elimination, had entered their solar system. Jaewoo's military training activated instantly. Haijian's scientific mind began analyzing potential defensive strategies. Their unexpected marriage, once a bureaucratic accident, now seemed like a carefully designed strategic partnership. They target research installations, Haijian noted, her fingers dancing across holographic star maps. Systematic elimination of scientific infrastructure. Jaewoo studied the attack patterns. Precise. Calculated. Each destroyed station represented more than physical infrastructure, they were eliminating knowledge repositories. Their shared apartment transformed into a strategic command center. Military tactical screens mixed with scientific research databases. Where traditional teams would take weeks to integrate information, Jaewoo and Haijian worked with unprecedented synchronization. The Kravok approached like a mechanical plague. Silent. Efficient. Destroying everything in their path. Traditional defense mechanisms seemed ineffective against their advanced technologies. Haijian discovered something remarkable in her planetary adaptation research. The Kravok's technology relied on specific quantum frequency signatures. By manipulating these frequencies, they might create a defensive barrier. Jaewoo's tactical training provided the implementation strategy. His understanding of military deployment combined perfectly with her scientific theory. Their research team thought they were crazy. Military commanders considered their approach unconventional. But they kept working, their forced marriage creating a communication bridge no traditional team could replicate. Days became a blur of continuous research and strategic planning. Their living space transformed into a war room. Star charts covered walls. Complex mathematical equations mixed with tactical deployment strategies. The first test of their combined strategy would determine the survival of multiple planetary EMS. As the Kravok fleet approached the primary research sector, Jaewoo and Hygiene's experimental defense system activated. Quantum frequency disruptions created invisible barriers, rendering Kravok weapons temporarily ineffective. Their unexpected partnership had created something revolutionary. The attack wave crashed against their invisible defensive system. Kravok ships tumbled, their advanced technologies suddenly neutralized by a strategy born from an accidental touch months earlier. Military commanders watched in disbelief. Scientific researchers could not explain the unexpected success. Jaewoo looked at Hygiene. She looked back. No words were necessary. Their communication had transcended language, cultural differences, even species boundaries. An accidental marriage had just saved multiple planetary systems. The Galactic Defense Council would need weeks to understand how two individuals, forced together by a simple cultural misunderstanding, had developed a defense strategy that traditional teams could not conceive. Their success was not about individual brilliance. It was about unexpected collaboration. A military tactician and a scientific researcher. Two different worlds, now working as one. The Kravok retreat was immediate and total. Their first defeat in centuries of systematic galactic expansion. Outside their research station, stars continued their ancient dance. Planets spun in their orbits. And two individuals, once strangers, now understood something profound about cooperation. Their forced marriage had become something more than a legal technicality. It was a bridge between worlds, a testament to what could happen when different perspectives merged. The galaxy would never be the same. The Galactic Council chamber was silent. Representatives from hundreds of planetary systems watched as Jaewoo and Hygiene presented their final report on the Kravok defense strategy. Their unexpected partnership had become legendary. What began as a simple accidental touch had transformed into the most significant diplomatic and defensive breakthrough in galactic history. Hygiene's scientific precision met Jaewoo's military clarity. Their presentation showed how two completely different approaches could create something revolutionary. Quantum frequency disruption. Adaptive defense mechanisms. Communication strategies that defied traditional understanding. The Arconian delegation watched with particular interest. Their ancient marriage laws, once considered archaic, now seemed like a brilliant evolutionary strategy for creating unexpected connections. Our research demonstrates, Hygiene explained, her voice calm and measured, that interdisciplinary collaboration can solve problems traditional methods cannot. Jaewoo stood beside her, no longer the rigid military officer, but a partner in every sense of the word. Their body language spoke volumes about their unique connection. Diplomatic representatives from multiple systems requested detailed reports. Military strategists wanted to understand their approach. Scientific researchers demanded comprehensive documentation of their methods. Their shared living experiences had become more than a personal journey. They represented a new model of interspecies cooperation. The Kravok threat was not just defeated. It was fundamentally understood. Their research revealed complex communication patterns that could prevent future conflicts before they emerged. Awards were presented. Commendations were given. But neither Jaewoo nor Hygiene seemed particularly interested in personal recognition. Their focus remained on the potential for future understanding. During a private moment, Hygiene looked at Jaewoo. "We've changed everything," she said simply. Jaewoo nodded. The man who once saw only military objectives now understood the power of collaborative thinking. Their apartment, once a symbol of forced coexistence, had become a research center that attracted the most progressive thinkers from across the galaxy. Young researchers studied their communication methods. Diplomatic trainees analyzed their collaborative approach. The Galactic Council officially recognized their marriage as more than a legal technicality. It was now a symbol of potential, a bridge between different worlds, different perspectives. Political boundaries began to shift. Scientific research became more integrated. Military strategies evolved to incorporate collaborative thinking. An accidental touch had rewritten galactic understanding. Hygiene continued her planetary adaptation research. Jae-woo developed new interdisciplinary military training programs. Together, they represented something more than their individual achievements. Their story spread across communication networks. A simple rescue. An unexpected marriage. A global defense strategy. Young researchers would study their journey for generations. How two individuals from different worlds could create something extraordinary through unexpected connection. The galaxy watched and learned. As stars continued their ancient dance, Jae-woo and Hygiene looked forward. Not as strangers forced together. Not as a legal contract. But as partners who had fundamentally changed understanding of cooperation. Their horizon was unlimited. The end.